All right. So Abzan writes, this might be a bad deck to play after we've gotten beat up by a bunch of other things, but we'll see. So this was a build around donation deck. So for people that are not familiar, for $50+ donations, for cards that may or may not be reasonable, I will try to construct a deck that could be as close to, I feel, as reasonable as possible. And this challenge was build something with Izoni 1,000 Eyes. So I've taken what's a Abzan Reanimator Ishel. We've got Grisly Salvage and Satyr Wayfinder to pour things into our discard pile. And then Unburial Rites here. This deck has Knight of Autumn as a way to interact with not only graveyard hate in the main deck, but also good utility that way. So unlike the mono red deck that we just got done playing, where we kind of got beat up because we were a graveyard deck that couldn't interact with their graveyard hate, this deck has even a main deck way between Knight and Assassin Trophy to take things like Rest in Pieces and Light Lines off the table. Let's dive into a league here and see how this goes. Honestly, and I think there's Magic players that have probably never played a good standard format. Like, it's been a long time since we've had a good standard format. Like, Modern, while there's a lot of great, interesting things to be going on in the format, Modern has a lot of really bad games of Magic, in my opinion. It has a lot of, the best way to describe them objectively is polarizing, I think. It has matches of Magic where you don't really have any decisions that end up mattering, and it's just kind of like a landslide victory in one direction or the other. And those are matches where, like, obviously every format in Magic has matches where you every format Magic has matches where, like, you land, screw, or flood, but, like, there's games in Modern on top of when you land, screw, and flood that are polarizing past that. Hand seems fine. I think 90-10 is a little bit over-exaggerating, but there's definitely its fair share of lopsided matchups in Modern for certain. I actually think Pauper's really dry for a lot of the same reasons that Legacy's dry. Formats full of powerful cantrips I find redundant to the point of being boring. It might be time to kick Magic Online thereabouts. Take your Bob Fadon here. All right, so this is definitely a double Thoughtseize turn. What's the most expensive Magic card I own? I have a Masterpiece Painter Servant upstairs. I need to frame at some point. I'm just going to take both the Thought-Knot Seers here. Are we having fun yet? These cards are so obnoxious. They're so good. Let's pick them apart. Yeah, we played a little bit of it in Legacy. Thought Erasure is a lot better, Marty. 2 mana versus 1 mana is huge. Also, like, the fact that Thought Erasure is double colored means it doesn't just get slotted into, like, literally every deck. So they have Plains, Cat Jesus, and then 2 cards we don't know now. This Restoration Angel will just be like a good quality card, right? Like on the board full of 2/2s, the 3/4 is Queen. Alright, I would like to naturalize your Tidehollow Sculler. As always, thanks for all your content. The past couple days have been a little bit rough. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for the support, Full Metal. Hope your week turns up. Blink my Night of Autumn. Unbanned Skull Clan with the Twitch Prime support. Thank you and welcome. I don't really have an educated or informed opinion on various versions of Infect. It's not something I've really played with. Malquin, thank you for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Thanks for sending your Bezo bucks this way this month. I think I just passed here, right? Just like come at me. Frost Kitty, welcome back. Thank you for the continued support. Do I want to gain 4 here? I kind of want a 4/3, right? I guess I'll get a 4/3 next turn with the other one. I also just gain 4 next turn with the other one. Yeah, I'll put some counters on here. Play some defense on the ground. Shambling Vent sounds good. I'm gonna shock this in, gain 4 health. Start attacking for 3 here probably. It's like they can't even blink Resto, right? Because if they blink Resto, they're giving me 4 health. I mean, I guess they can blink Resto, but it's like it's not particularly profitable for them, right? J-Pock, thank you very much for the 4-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Deal. Maybe I'm supposed to blink Satyr Wayfinder here to get deeper in my deck. Maybe I'm actually supposed to blink Wayfinder here. Yeah, it's probably a touch better. The second Resto here is going to put them under a lot of pressure. And when I get to untap with Shambling Vent, that'll be good too, because like I'll have another 3 toughness thing on a board full of 2/2s. Yeah, that's true. Ghost Quarter's going to be pretty bad for us. Maybe I should have put some Hakans in here. Oh, this costs 6. Gross. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have played that land there, because they're probably gonna blink one of my Restoration Angels here, and then I could have blinked this for an untapped land. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, chap. He knows nothing. He knows nothing. All right. Does this sound good? Sound good? I think this is good. Submit. I was busy eating my bugle, Shed. I couldn't count. Come on now. Someone asked, do I think Knight of Autumn is playable in general? Yeah, I think Knight of Autumn is great. It's very reasonable in Modern. Pretty easy mulligan there. Now, I've not played any Dredge with Creeping Chill yet. I'm interested to see how it plays out. Like, on paper, Creeping Chill doesn't really seem like it's particularly good in Dredge. Like, I know people are posting results with it, but again, like, results don't make good deck, etc., etc. I'm gonna keep this on the draw with the Scribe. We have 25 lands in our deck. If I find a second land, the Satyr Wayfinder probably finds us a third. I don't believe we've played any Jeskai Standard. I don't recall. We played some blue-red. As always, you can find all the decks I've played on my YouTube channel. That includes Standard. Alright, so the second fetch land is actually less good if they have a Leonin Arbiter. Do I have a Sultai Infect that's in the queue right now? I have no idea. You can always check the current deck queue on my website. There's like 90 decks in there at the moment, so I don't have all of them memorized. Don't Jesus me. God bless. God bless. No cat Jesus. I'm gonna get Godless Shrine here, and then I'll get Basic Forest off the Windswept Heath. Hopefully Satyr Boy here doesn't brick off on us. I'm pretty neutral on these icons overall. My biggest complaint regarding them is the fact that when there's only one counter, like right now, it doesn't have a 1 on it. I really wish there was just like always a number next to it for the sake of consistency. No blocks. The Diva deck did not win any matches of Magic. I think not including the Swift Spears was a mistake, and then we ran a little bit bad too. Well, that sounds like a naturalize. Well, I mean, without black, I can't play the card that we're supposed to be playing, which is the Thousand Eyes. This card needs black mana to be cast. If I'm not here. Yeah, Diva, I think I ended up not putting the Swift Spears in, and I think that was a mistake. We had a lot of hands that I ended up mulliganing where I just, like, didn't have anything to do, and adding 4 more threats to the deck seems like it would help a lot with that. Yeah. Yeah, that was my takeaway was we hit some kind of bad beats, but I also think like the beats that we had that were bad in part because of how the deck was built. So I'm definitely killing Bob here. I think I'm spot checking for a removal spell here. I haven't played anything they would want to kill yet, so I think there's a good chance that they have a removal spell in their hand. And like if they want to path me in response to like use the removal spell before I can take it, I'm kind of okay with that. Because, like, I need a 4th land. Like, this gets rid of, like, even if I end up, like, down a card here, like, I'm going to be up a card in a way because I'm getting, like, a land into play here, which is valuable for me. Like, I'm sure this is going to miss when I look at their hand now. Yep. They have a Wasteland Strangler and a Flicker Wisp. This isn't blocking, so might as well attack. Next turn, I get to resto the Satyr Wayfinder, which is sweet. I guess they could Wasteland Strangler, kill the Satyr Wayfinder, but that's like also kind of okay for us. Well, I think we're getting double Strip Mined and dying. Maybe they won't Strip Mine us. I mean, if they double Strip Mine us and I draw a fast land, like, we're still in this game. Even fetches we can activate, right? Because we'll have 2 mana left over. So here's hoping for a Blooming Marsh here. If we find a Blooming Marsh, the Grisly Salvage should find us a 4th land. Alright, that means an untapped land next turn that's not a fetch. Let's just play the Restoration Angel. Going down to 8 here. Honestly, even just like getting to activate the Shambling Vent would be pretty good, right? So like here, I get to like pay for Arbiter, crack my fetch, go down to 3. And then like I have Resto next turn. Am I supposed to chump block this turn? I don't think so. Sure. Yep. We're gonna click on the cap. So I'm going to 3, which means I'm not dead on board. I get to go ahead and pay for Cat Jesus, get a thing, and then I get to resto my Satyr Wayfinder, and then resto, eat something, Satyr, trump something, go to 1 next turn, and then maybe I can stabilize in the back of the Shambling Vent. I'm going to give you a quick 10-minute break there to figure out why we can't salvage in response. Feel free to study the board state. Of course, Super. Have a good one. Land. So I'm not restoing the Satyr Wayfinder now at sorcery speed because I know my opponent has both Wasteland Strangler and Flicker Wisp in their hand, which means if they flipped into a land this turn, they could get rid of one of my blockers here and then I would die. So we're dead to a Path to Exile or a Fatal Push here, but, you know, can't beat things, don't play around things you can't beat, etc., etc. Some good draws. It's fine, we get to take game 3 on the play, right? What happens when I time somebody out, they cannot post in chat for 10 minutes. They are still able to watch the stream. They just cannot post from their current account for 10 minutes. Gosh, if they didn't have the path there, we would have gotten to eat the Thalia, chump here. We'd have flipped Unburial Rites, drawn a Blooming Marsh. I'd also drawn Collective Brutality too. Man, if they didn't have the path there, I think we're actually going to be pretty far ahead. Wow. Professor Knox has 5,000 people watching Standard on Arena. That's absurdly awesome for Magic. We almost have real viewer numbers in this game, chat. We almost have real viewer numbers. Who is this Knox fellow? He is someone that did a bunch of Hearthstone stuff, and then he did some Gwent stuff, I believe. He is someone who has a large audience from other games who's also played Magic for a long time, from my understanding. I'm not familiar with his Hearthstone background. Let's not say anything negative about other people that are making content in the Magic community. Yeah, he did some Hex stuff too. He liked Hex a lot. He just didn't. There was no money to be made streaming Hex content. I think I'm supposed to play Verdant here in case they catch Jesus me. What's the best deck in Standard? No idea. 2.5 years. Aaron, thank you for the 30 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for the continued support. Yeah, it's been really awesome seeing how much the section here has grown since we became a real video game. I do need double black. Guess I'll get Overgrown Tomb here. I don't really need double white. He also takes deck donations, but he never really says, what do you mean, Rod? He just, like, accepts all of them? Man, I wish I could accept all of them. I don't have enough hours in the day. He'll play Draft Shaft. That seems like... awkward content. I think I'm going to take Satyr, because Satyr will dig me to a land and get me further into my deck, which is nice. These Strax. I don't really want to discard anything from my hand here, so I'm just going to go ahead and kill this without escalating. Not that I'm aware of, Sneaky. I'm also not a lawyer. What's going on, Brian? Afternoon. Yeah, he was. It's been really interesting watching his content explode with Arena since Arena became a thing we could start doing. Because, like, for a long time when Arena was in closed beta, his numbers were on parity with mine for Magic. But since Arena hit open beta, his numbers have just exploded, which is awesome for both him and Magic. Like, all these other people bringing in folks from outside of Magic into the game can only be good for the game. I would like to kill that one. Trophy is better than Abrupt Decay. The flexibility Trophies offers is far outweighs the downside that it gives your opponent by giving them a land. You get Thought Knotted here. My hand's pretty good. So like I have a Doomblade regardless of what they take here, right? Is there any reason for, you mean green-white, I assume, Tom, to not replace? No, I don't think so. If you can make both green and white mana, Knight of Autumn is like basically a strict upgrade to Reclamation Sage. Last Hope's a pretty good draw. I'm gonna go Satyr Wayfinder here. Honestly, if I hit an untapped land, which I did, I kind of want to just slam the Last Hope. Yeah, I think I'm gonna slam Last Hope. I think I just want her not in my hand for if they have another Thought-Knots here. I don't think Arena will expand into Modern. I think at some point we'll see a new non-rotating format introduced to Arena, but I think backcoding things like Modern is probably not something that's very likely to happen. Yep. So I assume the path is going away. Actually, I'm not sure what they're going to take. If they attack with this Thought-Knots here, I think I'm going to double block and trade. I could also just, like, chump, and then I get to resto my Knight of Autumn and make it a 4-3 next turn, which is nice. I get to draw an extra card by double blocking, though. And, like, my Liliana, if I hit an untapped land in these two draws, can bring back 1,000 Eyes here and, like, put 1,000 Eyes into play. It's a tapped land. Rough. Huh. So... I think I'm just going to spin this back and, like, grab Knight and put Knight into play here. If they have a path to exile, I feel a little bit bad about this, because then they get to kill my Knight and kill my Liliana. Maybe I'm just supposed to plus here. It's possible I'm just supposed to, like, plus. But if I plus and they hit, I guess they can't do that either. Yeah, maybe I'm just supposed to plus there. You could see that going either way. Why not Wayfinder to leave up resto? Because there's no guarantee my Wayfinder hits a land. Although I guess Wayfinder, if it does hit a land, has pretty big upside. Because I'm like, I get to block and I get to put more things in my bin for Izoni. Yeah, maybe Wayfinder is good there. I don't know, I like the idea of threatening the trade with the Knight. Because, like, this way if they have a path, they have to use it. And if they don't have a path, I'm just, like, in a very good spot. That's really rough. Now I'm kind of glad I spun back, so that way I got value out of this while I could. Oh, I could have hit Unburial Rites into a land. That's a good point. I didn't think about that. If they don't trade here, I can plus this, attack, and then... They have a path to exile here? Are they like getting really aggressive with a path here? Yep. I think we're actually in trouble now. Yeah, thinking about it more and like the different lines that come of it, I think I definitely should have gotten the Satyr back last turn. That's so sad. I thought we're actually gonna need to like use this card and have it be good. Izoni is probably worse than Grave Titan. Thinking back on it more, there's a chance I should have rejected this one. Good chance I should have rejected this one. I'm not sure that this card is modern playable, believe it or not. How many knights do we have left? That's a good question. I've got 2 Assassin's Trophies and 3 knights left in my deck. Yeah, some mix of like Grave Titan, Thragtusk, something like that. Six mana card. Hey, Izoni is gonna sacrifice this Wayfinder and draw a card. Thank you very much. And gain us the life, yep. Oh, baby. Look at that. Oh, I am less sad. I am less sad. And they're legendary, right? All right, there's 3 knights and 21 cards here. Holy crap, there were 3 knights and 21 cards. There were 3 knights and 21 cards, and we swung and we missed. I think part of the reason Magic Online is such a spaghetti mess is because there are a bunch of cards on Magic Online that were designed before they were working hand in hand with the digital team. So I think backcoding, while it's definitely possible, I think it makes Arena more of a mess, and it's probably something they're not willing to do or don't have a desire to do. I also, and this is a huge amount of speculation here, I also think, hey, the sassy dog, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub there. I appreciate that. Thanks for the support. I also think that one of the reasons why Modern is as popular as it is isn't necessarily inherent to Modern so much as it's just people just want to play a non-rotating Magic format that doesn't cost as much as Legacy. So like, I think if they started a new non-rotating format, there's a very good chance that it would just be as popular, if not more so than Modern. So I think if they're able to do that, there then becomes less of an appeal and less of a reason to bring Modern in from there. Yeah, you cannot. So the legend rule has to do with state-based action, so you cannot respond to the legend rule by sacking one of the other ones. I'm actually going to make sure I kill the Leonin Arbiter here because my opponent's choked on mana and they could have more legendary Thalias in their hand. We're actually kind of winning the race with Shambling Vents, huh? Shambling Vents are kind of winning this race. Yeah, I agree. I actually think Modern as a format has a lot of, we talked about this earlier, right? Just has a lot of rancid, like, high variance, uninteresting games of Magic. But I think, like, we kind of put up with that because Magic's a great game. Yeah, correct, Everone. It's people, that's why when people talk about, well, what about bringing extended back? It's like, well, people just don't want a format that rotates. They want a non-rotating format where they know that, like, the deck that they love, they could, like, take a 2-month break for Magic and, like, come back and, like, even if their deck's not perfect, like, it's still playable, right? I think Frontier sounds like a really bad format. I think another non-rotating format with fetch lands is a mistake. I think a lot of those delve cards are mistakes, especially alongside fetch lands. Mirian Crusader. Well, there's my Knight of Autumn. Arguably too late. I probably just need to make a 4-3 at this point, huh? I think I like the Grixis control deck a little bit better. I don't know. They're both pretty sweet. Definitely enjoyed both of them. I'm going to concede to a Wasteland Swingler here. Like, if either of these Izonis had just, like, been something that, like, actually had a text box, we probably would have won this game through the Rest in Peace, but, like, they're just, like, this 6 mana 2/3, so that was not an option. Knight of Autumn Restoration Angel was really good in that match. Believe it or not. I'm also extremely biased because this card is very good and one of my favorites. Listen, you have to have the good days, or you have to have bad days to really appreciate the good days, right? Like if every day is a good day, then they're all just kind of bland, right? And there's no differentiation between them. Sure, Sharamon, but like there's no reason that you couldn't have that in a new non-rotating format, right? Like I agree that Modern's a lot more open than say Legacy, but like there's no reason a new non-rotating format can't have and be as open as Modern is now, right? Without the really polarizing cards. I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm playing in either format. Just actual no clue. As we get closer, we got 2 weeks left in this month. I'm probably going to start fitting in some extra streams where I'm not streaming from the donation queue and I'm playing decks that I actually want to play to try and narrow it down. I need to play some matches with Blue-Red Tempo and Amulet Titan. I think those are 2 of the decks I'm leaning towards in Modern. This hand just like doesn't do anything. I think I'm going to keep it and hope they're on a slow mopey deck. Yeah, Standard's really great. Been enjoying a lot of that. I wrote about the black-green deck that I played at the Open on my article last week. The TLDR was that the deck was fine and I probably wouldn't make any changes. I might test the deck without Liliana the Veil. That's a card that we're just playing Storm and we're gonna die. Alright, let's try a post-board game. Drawing Brutality's on an option when Brutality's not in my deck. I don't even really have sideboard cards for this matchup. I'm just going to try another one. The man on the screen said my name. What's going on, the sassy dog? Thanks for the bits. For Wednesday's stream, I might break the sacredness of the donation deck list queue and pick decks not from the top and pick decks that I explicitly want to play. Again, it's been a while since we've had a Hogland picks day. Feel like I'm due for one of those. I'm still gonna pull decks that are in the queue, but I'm not gonna pull them from the top down, I think. Oh, Marty, you're the best. Thank you. Enjoy the sub gifts. Thank you, Marty. Is there anything extra you'd like to add tomorrow for standard, Marty? I think 60 gets you in at the top of the queue. Where's my standard queue at? Yeah, Marty, if you have another standard deck you'd like to see tomorrow aside from Seamkin Meme, let me know. As always, for people that like to support the content, sub gifts count at $5 towards the queue per pop as well. Avery, do not let your memes be dreams. Joffrey, thank you for the 4-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. That's standard staple, Izoni. Sounds great, Marty. Blue-red control. I'll put some thought into that. The Time Lord with the 5 months. Welcome back. Thank you. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Thanks for shipping the Bezo bucks back this way again this month. Yep, this is a keep. Sherpy Boy, 17 months. That's so many months. Welcome. Alright, I'm gonna hang out and die to Valakut Titan. And then I'm gonna be done for the day. I'm not gonna concede 2 matches in a row, but this is my mid-range deck. You know what? Screw this. This is my stream. I make the rules. This deck was bad. Sarah, if you want to reach out to me, I believe it was Sarah, whoever sent in the donation for this, if you want to reach out to me and think about something else you'd like to bump in the queue or add to the queue, we can do that. This deck was bad. I feel bad playing it. I'm not going to keep playing it. Let's fire up Arena and play a standard deck to wrap the day up. Marty's Steamkin deck is at the top, and that deck's kind of sweet, so let's do that.